Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and one of our favourite trans activists is back. Let's hear what wonderful advice Jeffrey Marsh is imparting now.
3 ways to disrespect your elders. So if you're dealing with a narcissistic parent or a bullying boss at work, you need to 1, play innocent. There's some sort of secret code or language they're using to try to get you to do what they want. And all you need to do is ask, what do you mean? I don't get it. Could you explain that? Be innocent. Number 2, feel no guilt.
That's about all I can stomach, but I know some of you are desperate to know the 3rd way you can disrespect your elders.
Number 3, limit contact. Don't do extra. Don't go above and beyond.
He really does give the worst advice. Let's just look how overjoyed old mate Jeffrey is when he hears trans activists have damaged J.K. Rowling's reputation.
Hi, you won against Ms. Rowling. No, it hasn't quite happened yet, and this is conjecture and rumor. Warner Brothers has been trying to buy the Harry Potter franchise from J.K. Rowling because, largely because the actors refuse to do another project unless she's gone because of her transphobic comments. So because of boycotts, because of you speaking up, because of you making her views, her bigotry a liability, she's starting to pay the price. Thank you so much for caring. Thank you so much for caring. It is working.
The only people it's working with are the lefties losing it, and sadly many of them do inhabit the media. But bad news there for Jeffrey. J.K. Rowling is not selling the rights to Harry Potter, and she's still a self-made billionaire and campaigner for women's rights, so I think she's pretty much winning at life. But what J.K. Rowling lacks are neo-pronouns and xenopronouns, because apparently neo-pronouns aren't crazy enough. We now have pronouns that are just sounds that humans can't even make. Confused? Well, get ready to be well and truly confounded. Take it away, Jeffrey.
Xenopronouns refers to any pronoun a person has that is unspeakable, that is unworkable in the language of a person. So an example would be a xenopronoun would be a word, I can't even say it, right? Because that's the point. They're unsayable and sort of effervescent and unknowable, kind of like a person's gender. That's why I love this one. So an example would be, a xenopronoun would contain a set of letters that is a pronunciation that a human being can't pronounce. It's some sound that a human being can't pronounce. Or that a xenopronoun contains an image or a concept that it's alluding to that is actually something that language has no way to express. The movement of understanding where non-binary people come from can sometimes take us into very lofty, beautiful, spiritual, poetic places.
Lofty, beautiful, poetic. I would have used different adjectives. I think we can all agree that Jeffrey identifies as self-delighted and absurd. And talking about absurd, let's check in with the broken lefties of MSNBC.
Trump is literally crazy on stage, and I say it not in a good way. Not well, not fit, not mentally capable of holding together a sentence when his prompter goes down.
Yes, they are still trying to gaslight the nation that it's Trump who is not cognitively fit, not Biden. Remember this epically demented rant from Joe Scarborough?
He's cogent, but I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, start your tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
Oh, that is wonderful stuff. You really should get some sort of a Netflix comedy special, because that is champagne comedy right there. Let's take a look at Biden being the best he's ever been.
Anyway, and I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. And I'll go ahead and just pull a shrine. Los Angeles and what am I doing here? From the...
And the leader of the free world was in sterling form last night after a big Democrat fundraiser in LA with many A-listers there, the usual suspects, George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Barbara Streisand. Watch here as Barack Obama grabs Biden's arm and helps direct the confused POTUS off stage. I think we found out who the puppet master is. No wonder many savvy pundits consider this Obama's third term, and it's been his most disastrous yet. Now watch how tolerant these Pride March attendees are when a member of their community is proud to be Jewish.
You can't hit him. This. I have been a lifelong LGBTQ activist. I believe in the values of protecting LGBTQ people, but they are attacking us in the middle of a Pride March. Am I not supposed to be welcome within my own LGBTQ community because I am Jewish, because I'm Israeli? We have people of all nationalities here, all different types of LGBTQ people, and we're being booed right now. In an LGBTQ community and movement, in a Pride March that is supposed to be inclusive of everybody, I have never in my life felt more excluded, and it is heartbreaking.
Let's bring in the host of Prime Time with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex, I'm interested on your thoughts on the Democrats' fundraiser with Obama in LA featuring Hollywood A-listers and Obama helping the president off stage. It's clear that the celebrities don't care about any sort of cognitive decline. The celebrity class is right behind President Biden.
Well, Rita, I believe George Clooney raised $30 million for Joe Biden, and it's sad because that money will not make him any smarter, any sharper. Basically, we're living in the weekend at Bernie's at this point. You know what I mean? I'm not even trying to say that it's a joke, but when Barack Obama has to guide him off set. And then what's even worse is you have like these TikTok influencers like Harry Season, who's literally defending this and saying that Joe Biden is 100% cognitive and that he's functioning like a normal adult. I mean, he's 80 years old. The guy deserves to be on a golf course, not running for president of the United States.
Well, I'm not sure if he's even fit to be on a golf course. I'd like to see him on a couch somewhere with a warm bowl of soup and just enjoying, because there are 80-year-olds who are robust and are a lot more with it, both physically and mentally, than President Biden appears to be. His performance at the G7 left the leaders of several countries, Alex, alarmed, bemused. The Daily Mail reports allies noticed he was losing focus and tired. He missed several dinners. He wandered off and snapped at the press at one point. And then there was his bizarre interaction with the Pope. And look here for the reactions of Argentinian leader Javier Milei and also Italy's Giorgia Meloni. Milei does a double take whilst he's watching this performance. But like you said, you've got these TikTok influencers, you've got members of the media desperate to paint the coverage of the president's increasingly unusual behaviour as some sort of a fabrication rather than the sad decline of a man we've seen over decades. So we've seen the decline. It's not like we've only had him in our lives for the last 4 years.
Well, Joe Biden calls himself a Catholic, but he's the pro-choice Catholic that believes in abortion, which I think that totally goes against Catholicism 100%. I mean, why wouldn't you want to protect a young child in the womb? So, I mean, Joe Biden is a hypocrite. Joe Biden is basically senile at this point. And like you said, there are 80-year-olds that are still quick-witted and still got it going on, but Joe Biden is not that guy. I believe that he's probably hopped up on some sort of amphetamine, or he's on some sort of medication that actually, keeps his energy up, but obviously he's artificially on performance enhancing drugs. And I know that might sound crazy, but there's no way that this guy would have the fortitude to travel to all these places and do all this stuff if they weren't juicing him up with, I don't know what that is, but it's pretty obvious that he's not on just coffee, in my opinion.
I don't know how much performance enhancement he's getting from whatever medications he's on. I'm not suggesting he's on anything, but we see some very different Joe Bidens. We see him just be completely out of it, struggling to form a sentence. We see him get angry for no reason. And then sometimes he seems to be a little bit more with it and a little bit more lucid. So whatever they've got happening, I don't think it's working 100% of the time. We're also hearing reports from the G7 of Biden snubbing some world leaders, including India's Modi and the UK's Rishi Sunak. He skipped several important get-togethers. He was reportedly tired at some of the meetings he did attend. It doesn't exactly portray American strength on the world stage, does it, Alex?
No. And listen, my dad's not the president of the United States, but if I was convicted of gun charges like Hunter Biden, my dad would probably be not very focused on the country or focused on his job. So it's not surprising that the Biden crime family is going through this. And you know what I think the real conspiracy is? Rita, I think they're purposely kind of putting him out there and making him look bad so that they can have an excuse to run Gavin Newsom. I fully believe that. And I know the election is, 5 months away in November, but I would not be surprised if they make him withdraw and then they just elect in some sort of weird, convention and then have Gavin Newsom be the candidate for the 2024 election.
Well, he is a very savvy media performer, Gavin Newsom, and he is loved by the media. I think he will get such a sweet run, and he must perform. I know California is a total mess, but that doesn't seem to matter. We've seen him fail upwards to be the governor of California, and it would not surprise me if he is a presidential candidate. Maybe not this time around, but definitely the next time he's a real shot. Now, we've got the polls showing, Alex, that there's a clear majority of Americans now who support mass deportations, including the majority of Hispanics backing this proposal. And news like this will only add to that sentiment. Another horrific crime, the rape and murder of a mum allegedly committed by an illegal immigrant. This man who crossed the border from El Salvador. He's been arrested and charged with the murder and rape of Rachel Morin, a mother of 5, whose body was found near a hiking trail last year. Now, this Victor Martinez Hernandez illegally entered the US in February 2023, and authorities believe Morin was not his first victim. He was wanted for the murder of a young woman in El Salvador the January before he crossed into the US, and he's also attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion the month after he arrived. So the question has to be asked, Alex, what was he still doing in the country? What was he doing roaming free?
Rita, enough is enough. I'm not going to sit here and try to play a victim because obviously I'm not going through what that family is going through. But Lake and Riley, there's countless of other people that have been victims to illegal immigration. And sure, we want immigration. There's Fortune 500 companies that want some of the best, brightest immigrants, people from all over the world. We're not anti-immigration, but we shouldn't have a two-tier justice system where literal people are leaving Venezuelan prisons and coming up to America and literally raping people. This is disgusting. This should be stopped. But the politicians on the left don't want to do anything about it. And you know what, Rita? I would have to call out, I'm here in Texas, the conservative politicians are not doing enough to stop this at the border because they believe that this is what's best for their donors or their political action committee. So this is a total scam to basically rip off the American people. They take our social services. They're literally raping people, and nothing is going to get done about it. So that's why we're here. That's why we're so fed up, and that's why people want mass deportation. How would that work? I'm not sure. I'm sure that would be a nightmare as well. But we have to stop the invasion that's going on at our southern border because we want to fund all of these wars in Ukraine. We worry more about the border between Russia and Ukraine, but we don't even care about the border between Texas and Mexico. And it's very frightening. And I'm just lucky that I haven't been a victim of something like this. But sadly, there's a lot of families that have, and I don't know when it's going to stop because politicians on both sides aren't doing enough to fix this problem.
Now let's end on some happier news. It's Father's Day in America, and I hope you got to celebrate it with your father,
Yes.
Tucker Carlson, or is he?
Tucker, when I was in Maine and I was a guest on your show, Tucker Carlson Today, I made very good friends with your hairstylist, and I paid her a lot of money, and I got a lock of your hair. So please, come on, I brought a doctor. This is Dr. Goldberg. He's from the DNA clinic. I don't know if you can see him. This is our DNA test right here, Tucker. So what we do, this is the hair. Please show him the hair, Dr. Goldberg. A little closer, Dr. Goldberg. So right now, Tucker, we're going to find out once and for all if you are my father or not. So this is huge. How do I read this? I'm not a doctor, Dr. Goldberg.
So you just take out the paper and read the words that are on it.
It says, Tucker, you are not the father. This has to be wrong. This has to be wrong. He is my father.
So I know you wanted a different result.
Oh, that's very sad indeed, but happily Tucker has said he's happy to claim you regardless, and it's on tape.
I'm with my biological father, Tucker. It was a great show, Tucker. He actually kind of claimed me, so I just want to say thank you.
I'd be happy to claim you, but I've dated my wife longer than you've been alive, so it would implicate me if I admitted it.
And you know what's funny? My dad is my best friend, so he's going to hate that I say at least joke anyway.
Sorry about that.
Have you apologised to your real father for continuously claiming on television that Tucker Carlson is your father? And what did you do to celebrate? I'm interested to know how you celebrate this special day.
Well, we went to a delicious restaurant with my biological father, Harold Rhett Stein. We went to Papados, which is a Creole cuisine fish restaurant. It's really good. My dad had the trout covered in shrimp. But I want to shout out Tucker Carlson. He's doing a live event where he's going across the country in America doing live shows. And Tucker's been so gracious to invite me to one of those events. He's speaking with Roseanne, Russell Brand, a lot of thought leaders out in the world. So Tucker Carlson has been so nice, and he loves that I call him my biological stepdad. So he's like you, Rita. You guys are like my TV mom and dad. Even though you're young too, I just really appreciate all the help. Not only Tucker's given me, but you, Rita. So for Mother's Day, I'm going to send you a gift as well, Rita. So thank you.
I'm going to hold you to that. Oh, and American Mother's Day and the Australian one, please. I want to double up. Alex Stein, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Bye, Rita.
Yeah.